What's going on, Kuma Corporation? It's been a while, I think. Let's see. My last long-form video came out. Oh, good God, 5 months ago? Well, a lot has been going on in Old Man Bub's life. School, work, and... oh yeah, I opened up a gym. All of these things have really eaten up my time and energy, but I'm back at it for the first official long-format video of 2025, in an attempt to clear the backlog of content I've had since 2023. Yikes. Now I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking it too. It feels kind of wrong that my first video of 2025 isn't a new episode of Slurping Across Japan. But sometimes I gotta spice things up for you all. I can't just always be a nudist. I want to welcome you to Kichi Kichi, and even though I'm definitely not the first one to introduce you to this, or maybe I am, which would be crazy, but yes, this is the viral omurice place where the chef cooks in front of you, puts on a show, slices the omelet, yada yada yada. But not many people talk about the other things on the menu, which in my opinion, and Motokichi-san's, are the real star. I first visited Kichi Kichi in 2019 after multiple failed attempts from 2016 and onwards to grab a reservation. Yes, this is a spot where you need reservations in order to dine. Rather than explain it here, it'll also be an episode of Reservations Required, my series on the Tokyo Bubs channel, where I cover a bunch of cool places that you unfortunately need reservations for. Anyway, when I finally managed to grab a reservation, I was on a bro trip with my best friend. Those vlogs are actually on the aforementioned Tokyo Bubs channel, but they're kind of cringe. I wasn't super great at making content yet, so maybe don't watch those. Let them stay in the way back of the closet, never to see the light of day where they belong. During that first visit though, I had opportunities to speak with the owner who told me that rather than make omurice, he would actually prefer to make and sell what he thinks to be his best dish, beef tongue stew. I'm glad that this conversation happened before I placed my order too, because if it wasn't for my inner fatty's insatiable curiosity, I never would have bothered to order it. The beef tongue stew at Kichi Kichi is my favorite stew of all time. Everything about it is perfection. The flavors, the tenderness, the balance. I can't even begin to describe the beautiful symphony that was happening inside my mouth with each bite of rice and stew. The way that the two meld together made it hard to stop myself from finishing the plate. They also have a wonderful creamy chicken that was unbelievably juicy and tender. It's not talked about as often, but honestly, I strongly recommend you get an order for yourself as well. Now the omurice. It's honestly very fun to watch him cook the omurice, don't get me wrong. It's also very tasty, sure. But if I'm being completely honest, it's really not something to write home about. Sure, the flavors are there, but the sauce that gets laid on top is almost a weaker, less impressive version of his beef stew. I just don't think that the omurice is all that. The rice itself is also just a little bland in flavor. Sure, the sauce helps, but it just doesn't really hit the same as the stew. So let's talk flavor. If I didn't make it clear enough already, the beef stew flavors are absolutely incredible, closely followed by his creamy chicken. The omurice is good, but isn't all that appealing. I'll give flavor a 4.4 out of 5. I think every single bite of every single item I've tried had an incredible mouthfeel. All the meat was extremely tender, all the sauces weren't too thick nor too thin, and all the rice was cooked perfectly. For mouthfeel, it's got to be a perfect 5 out of 5. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Kichi Kichi is great, but like our favorite Uncle Ben said, no, not that one. Like our favorite Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. And with great powerful flavor comes great responsibility of the wallet. Each item is pretty expensive, which is shown on screen right now. I think as far as value is concerned, I actually had to give this a 3.5 out of 5. Sure, the dishes are incredible, don't get me wrong, but for the time investment you have to commit to for getting a reservation, essentially having to plan an entire day to revolve around making it on time for the reservation, the cost per item, the volume of food per item, it just doesn't make any sense to rate this higher. Taking a look at our scores, we're averaging at exactly a 4.3, which means I can shockingly not rate Kichi Kichi certified bubs. But here's the bottom line. If you're the type of person who cares about trying all the viral experiences you see online and you find enjoyment out of it, by all means, you should definitely do your best to get a reservation for Kichi Kichi. Otherwise, I would say save your time and money on other great eats and experiences Kyoto has to offer. Don't worry so much about hitting this spot on your very first trip. This is definitely a second or even third trip spot. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys missed me, and I hope that I can make a lot more content this year. As always, stay hungry.